Now, from Nebraska's trusted news source, this is Channel 8 News at 10.
Now at 10, keeping their cool. From plumbers to electricians, enrollment is climbing in trade programs, why more students are choosing a different path. Then, behind the barricade, Omaha police shedding new light on an hours-long standoff, what investigators said led to a deadly gunfire. Also, one more flight.
When Clayton got off that plane and his smile, it is priceless. It was unbelievably emotional.
Nebraska veterans are taking to the skies in World War II era aircraft. Who was honored with a flight decades in the making? And peace under pressure.
The blockade is the most powerful thing.
The U.S. and Iran are still trading fire despite a ceasefire. What President Trump says about the path forward. Right now, a busy time of year is beginning for trade workers. Hello and good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for staying up a little late with us. I'm Rod Fowler. As the summer months begin, that's the start of a busy time of year for electricians, plumbers, contractors, and several others in the trade industry. Our Jake Holman is learning more about this. And Jake, I hear this field of work is definitely increasing.
Hey, good evening, Rod. It sure is. According to Southeast Community College, for every semester since 2023, they've seen a steady increase in enrollment for trade from the previous semester. Now, tonight, we talked with Green's Furnace and Plumbing, who explains why we might be seeing this jump.
I think it's starting to come back a little bit with changing of the workforce.
Trade work is steadily booming. At least the numbers say so. Southeast Community College, they've seen growth in their advanced technology and trades programs, the biggest jump being from the fall of 2023 to the fall of 2025, with 192 more enrollees, nearly a 10% rise. Green's Furnace and Plumbing says that's due to a couple of things, one of them being the industry becoming more reliable.
Always going to be that potential for growth. If you're able to work through 2 or 3 years, you can see quite a bit of promise in it.
And the other, income, stating a substantial increase.
Income. The incomes have been really good. The incomes have grown quite a bit in this industry. People being able to see, driving by a building and seeing, man, I helped build that building, or having that sense of accomplishment. I think it's helped the younger guys have a sense of accomplishment in their careers. Southeast
Community College also stating that due to the growth in enrollment, they have built new facility, stated in part, quote, SCC broke ground on 3 major facilities this spring to address the demands of enrollment growth and industry needs for a skilled workforce.
Now, experts are saying there are a few other key reasons why trade enrollment is up. Number 1, baby boomers are retiring, someone needing to take their place. Number 2, job security. The fact that these jobs are always going to be in high demand, plus good pay, and most students graduate with no debt. For now, reporting here in studio, Jake Holman, Channel 8 News.
All right, thank you, Jake. Turning to weather now, let's check out the latest on a severe weather alert. Looking outdoors right now with our network of cameras, not a lot going on here in the capital city area, but what about some of our viewers to our west and southwest? Let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Rusty Dawkins. Rusty?
So far, relatively quiet. We have had a few severe thunderstorm warnings on and off as we were going through the evening hours. Nothing out there right now, but there's a couple of frisky storms out there. We'll take a look at that. A good swath of rainfall just south of Grand Island. It's just been sitting there for the last few hours. A line of storms from just north of O'Neill, south and west towards North Platte. That's probably your best bet if there's going to be any severe weather tonight in north central Nebraska, and even that is pretty small. An isolated storm just northeast of Custer County, and then a couple of storms over there by McCook. But here's that swath of moderate rainfall that is much welcome in for many of them. They need the rainfall just as bad as everybody else. There's that storm over by McCook, between McCook and Curtis. That might get a little on the strong side, and then those storms between South Dakota and south and west towards North Platte. Outside though in Lincoln, a very quiet evening. Barry Lockham looking towards downtown Lincoln. 73 degrees in Lincoln, 66 in Hebron, 66 also in Grand Island. Some 70s out there to the west, but the dew point right around 60 degrees, so some moisture in the atmosphere with that south wind at 10, 20, almost 30 miles per hour in south central Nebraska. Temperatures not going to cool off much. In fact, 60s briefly early tomorrow morning, then already back to 80 by noon. We'll have the rest of your week into the weekend forecast in a few minutes.
Thank you, Rusty. New details now. Omaha police releasing new information about yesterday's deadly standoff. This is an armored SWAT vehicle used to protect officers during high-risk situations. They used it when a man refused to leave a home after being evicted. Here you can see the man peering through his window with a rifle in hand. Police say 55-year-old Matthew Strain, right here, opened fire on the tactical vehicle using this rifle with a large capacity magazine. 4 SWAT officers returned fire and Strain was killed. Police say some of the shots he fired hit the armored SWAT vehicle. Those are the areas that are circled in red. Police also releasing these photos showing a large stockpile of firearms and ammunition found in the home. Well, there was a separate officer-involved shooting last week in Sarpy County. And on the House floor today, Congressman Mike Flood praising law enforcement for their quick action.
I rise to recognize the heroes of Nebraska law enforcement. Because of their bravery, everybody went home safe. Their courage is a testament to the sacrifice law enforcement officers make every day they put on the uniform. I'm proud to back the blue, and I thank those serving in law enforcement for keeping us safe.
That officer-involved shooting in Papillion involved a suspect opening fire in a Home Depot parking lot and officers returning fire, killing him. No one else was hurt. New developments from a crash that happened on Memorial Day just west of Lincoln. The Lancaster County Sheriff's Office confirming another person has died. This all happened on West O Street in Emerald. A car did not stop at a stop sign and crashed into an SUV right there on O Street. The Sheriff's Office telling us a passenger in that SUV, 62-year-old Gay Wah from Lincoln, has died from her injuries. A passenger in the car also died from the crash. On to the latest in the Iran conflict. President Trump defending the U.S. strategy in the Middle East.
The blockade is the most powerful thing. I think the blockade maybe has more impact than the bombing has. But the blockade that we have, the naval blockade, is incredible. Not one ship has gotten through unless we wanted it to.
The president making those comments as the ceasefire between the U.S. and Iran faces new challenges, with both sides accusing the other of escalating the conflict. New attacks in the Middle East are raising questions about the stability of the U.S.-Iran ceasefire. President Trump says negotiations are continuing even as violence persists. Iranian strikes targeted U.S. allies in the Gulf today, including an attack near an airport in Kuwait that killed at least one person. Iran's foreign minister called the actions self-defense, while President Trump said the two sides are still operating under a ceasefire despite the exchange of fire.
In that part of the world, ceasefires when you're shooting in a more moderate manner.
Meanwhile, the House approved a resolution aimed at limiting President Trump's Iran war powers. The White House dismissed the vote as symbolic, and in a separate development, Israel and Lebanon reached an agreement on implementing a ceasefire following talks in Washington. Well, coming up after the break, losing our shade. Nebraska leads the nation in community tree canopy loss, but UNL is helping to turn the trend around. What they're doing to help out communities. And all new tomorrow morning, patient or customer? A debate over the future of the Aurora Fire Department is heating up. What supporters and opponents say is at stake when every second counts. That's tomorrow at 5, 6, and 11 a.m.
Lots of areas seeing some much needed precipitation tonight. We have more chances over the next several days. The forecast when we come back.
New at 10, UNL is helping grow Nebraska's future one tree at a time. From Lincoln to small towns across the state, UNL is working to help communities replace aging trees and strengthen their urban forests. Faculty, students, and partner organizations like Plant Nebraska and the Nebraska Forest Service are helping communities tackle a growing problem, and that's tree loss. To help communities prepare, they're working to identify at-risk trees, remove diseased ones, and plant new species less vulnerable to pests like the emerald ash borer. The school says the effort has already helped plant thousands of trees across Nebraska. Also right now, big changes are being looked at that could shake things up for Nebraska hunters. You see, next week, Game and Parks will consider reducing the personal limit of antlered deer permits from 2 to 1 starting in 2027. The commission there will also review proposed changes to spring turkey hunting, including a shorter season and fewer permits for non-residents. Well, only on 8 now, a group of Nebraska veterans taking to the skies today. 8 veterans that currently live in nursing homes getting a ride they won't soon forget in a World War II era plane. Tonight, we're there as they relive their memories. For many of the veterans today, it's not just about flying, it's about reconnecting with parts of themselves. Channel 8's Emma Norwood brings us their reactions from today.
As those 8 Nebraska veterans step in and out of the plane today, their smiles are impossible to miss. This is creating lasting moments for both their families and proving that it's not too late for one more adventure. One by one, veterans suiting up and hitching a ride in the sky.
We're just saying thank you for the sacrifice, for their service. I mean, they gave us our freedom.
Nebraska Healthcare Association teaming up with Dream Flights, giving 8 retired Nebraskan service members the chance of a lifetime. Like 100-year-old Ted Monroe Mills, who fought for our country during World War II.
Cars looked like ants going down the road, and saw the Capitol, and it was a great flight. It was awful windy, but I'd do it again.
A free ride in a World War II-era Boeing Stearman biplane, symbolizing the sacrifice they made for all of us.
I just have to pinch myself to say I get to do this, because I get to hang out with people like Ted and Clayton, who have done so much for me, and now I'm getting a chance to do a little something for them at a point in their life when they're not thinking about flying in open cockpit biplanes. And so they come alive, their families come alive, and it's just such an emotional thing.
As families cheer on their loved ones and greet them with signs and a smile. Clayton West, a Korean War veteran, throwing his hands in the air as he got off the plane.
It was wonderful. It was a good flight. I enjoyed it. Everything went well. I'm so happy for all those who participated to make this all this possible. I'm really grateful to all of those involved.
When Clayton got off that plane and his smile, it is priceless. It was unbelievably emotional, and just to see, they said that Clayton is a very quiet guy, and he didn't look quiet, so his smile sold everything.
Some of them even signing their names on the end of the plane, an experience they'll never forget. The veterans whose signatures are now on the tail end of the plane will represent their lasting legacy for many years to come. Reporting here in Lincoln, Emma Norwood, Channel 8 News.
Another type of story I never get tired of seeing. Thank you, Emma. New at 10, firefighters in Holt County got the chance to battle the real thing. The Chamber Volunteer Fire Department taking part in a live house fire training with the Nebraska State Fire Marshal Training Division. Firefighters work through realistic scenarios, including fire attacks, search and rescue operations, and ventilation techniques. Officials say the hands-on training helps prepare crews for the extreme conditions they can face during actual house fires where temperatures can exceed 600 degrees.
Now, your Storm Alert Team forecast with Chief Meteorologist Rusty Dawkins.
Did have a solid soaking tonight in a couple of spots. Northern Nebraska and south central Nebraska. Anywhere from 3/4 of an inch to almost 2 inches of rain near Valentine. So a good swath of 1 to 2 inches up there in north central Nebraska. And then a good swath of 1 to 2 inches here in south central Nebraska. Didn't hit all the rain gauges exactly on, but we did have about 3/4 of an inch in Hebron. But where you see the yellows and the reds, that's a good 1 to 2 inches of rainfall. And big old goose egg in Lincoln and Beatrice. We have more rain chances as we head through tonight into tomorrow. So hopefully we'll get some more precipitation for everybody. We all need it. That's no lie about that. 86 and 82 for your normal, and what our actual high was. Not even close to, well, not bad. That's about 11 degrees shy of that record high of 97. Slow down. Well, I guess maybe they're going the speed limit. We've got a stoplight. I hope that this is almost done. It's got to be close. I've been saying that for a while now, though. Temperatures are much cooler where there's rain-cooled air. Look at Valentine, O'Neill, Broken Bow, Grand Island, Holdridge, and Hebron in the 60s. Just about everybody else in the 70s. We're at 73 in Lincoln. That's one of the warmer spots. 78 though in Omaha, 74 in Nebraska City, but 60s over there where they actually saw some rainfall get to the ground today. Dew points about 60 degrees, so there is, you can feel it when you go outside. A south wind at 10 to 20 to sustained at around 25 miles per hour. So still some windy conditions here in central Nebraska. That's mainly because there's precipitation out there. And this has been stuck. There's a low pressure center and it just stalled out. So now the rain is stalled out here, and then there's a line of storms up there, but we'll get to that here in a second. But first, just some scattered showers and a lot of thunderstorms between Interstate 70 and the Nebraska-Kansas border. Those are trying to move north, but it runs into a brick wall, really, and this is just going to stay here for a while. So we could continue to have some flooding issues, and a little tiny line of storms between Curtis, McCook, and then over there towards Binkleman, and then north central Nebraska from just north of O'Neill through, say, close to Ainsworth, Atkinson, just east of Valentine, a weak line. The severe threat is small, but the precipitation chance is out there. A lot of lightning too, but if we'll take whatever rain we can get. Now we have many chances. This is for the rest of tonight. Models haven't been doing a very good job of picking up what's going to happen, so we still may see some lingering showers and storms. In fact, by 8 o'clock in the morning, watch what happens down here. Just scattered showers and every now and then an occasional rumble of thunder, especially as we get into the afternoon hours in southeast Nebraska. And then there's going to be a frontal boundary out there, right there, that has another chance for some strong to severe storms and lingering storms here in southeast Nebraska. So because of all of that, just about all of us in a level 1 marginal risk, but that secondary line that moves through has a level 2 slight risk. And then, and this one's maybe one of the more potent precipitation severe weather possibilities, is Friday. Watch this line right here from Omaha to Lincoln to Hebron, south of Grand Island near Concordia. This line right here has the potential to be strong to severe Friday late afternoon into the evening hours, and quickly moves off towards Des Moines before 10 o'clock at night. So because of that, Storm Prediction Center already day 3 has us in a slight risk, a level 2, for the potential for those storms to be strong to severe. So that's something we're watching pretty closely. Temperatures tonight between 60 and 70 degrees, highs tomorrow pretty close to 80. It'll depend on how much sun we see with that south wind at 10 to 20. 7-day forecast has a lot of 80s and a few 90s every now and then. Storms possible Thursday and Friday. Again, Friday we're kind of watching closely. And then Sunday and Monday, more storm chances. And then we get back into the 90s for a good portion of next week. Hey, Nate, you're going to have to help out with this one. It's NBA related. Okay. How many NBA teams have weather-related names? 0, 1, 3, or 8?
Oh my gosh.
Oh man, I don't know off the cuff. I'm gonna have to go C though.
I'll go with you.
But
that's right.
Oh,
I'm just gonna give it to you. 3: Miami Heat, Oklahoma City Thunder, and the Phoenix Suns. I can count on my Nate.
Always.
Well done. I was hoping you'd know that because I sure did.
That was a good guess.
Thank you so much, Rusty. Hey, today marks 46 years since devastating tornadoes ravaged Grand Island. The National Weather Service says it is likely that never before this event or since then have 7 slow-moving deadly tornadoes touched down in such a small but really populated area for such a long time span. That day in 1980, they dealt with those 7 tornadoes for 2 hours and 45 minutes straight. 5 people were killed, 200 injured, and about 500 homes and apartments were destroyed. All right, let's get into the Sports Zone. Nate, what do you have for us tonight?
Yeah, busy day. We're going to touch on the NBA Finals here in a little bit, and we're going to be looking at the Lincoln Salt Dogs after today's game. That and a lot more coming up next.
Now, from the Channel 8 Sports Zone, sponsored by Green's Furnace and Plumbing, here's Channel 8 News Sports with Sports Director Nate Johnson. The Channel 8 News Sports Zone.
Well, hey, what's going on? Welcome into the Sports Zone. It's Nate Johnson rocking with you. Tonight was night one of the NBA Finals between the Knicks and the Spurs, and I got to tell you, it was a fun one, a back-and-forth battle the entire way, and after three quarters, it was all tied up at 76. In his first Finals game, Victor Wembanyama was very solid, 26 points, a team high, along with 12 rebounds, but New York would make some crucial plays late to pull away. Jalen Brunson putting up a 30 spot this evening in his first NBA Finals game. And the final tonight, 105-95. New York takes game one in San Antonio. And y'all, we might be in for a good series. The court finally has the Larry O'Brien back on it. Just felt like an NBA Finals game this evening. Well, the Lincoln Salt Dogs are in a three-game home series with the Lake Country Dot-Coms before they host the Sioux Falls Canaries for a three-game series also at Haymarket Park. And Lincoln was looking for a bounce-back game following last night's loss to Lake Country. And early on, it was all Dot-Hounds, though. Jack Blomgren sending one to the bathrooms over there in left field in the top of the second to start the scoring. And Lake Country would take a 7-0 lead going into the bottom of the seventh. But the Salt Dogs would score 5 runs in the bottom of that inning and keep the momentum going into the eighth. Calvin Halverson with a 2-run single, and Lincoln would pull within 2 there and make it a 1-run game after 8. However, Lake Country would hold on to this one and win 10-9 against Lincoln, the final game of the series set for 6:35 p.m. tomorrow. Storm Chasers were back to work today against Columbus, the final of the night, 5-4. And the Royals finished off their series with the Reds in style, picking up a win, 5-2, the final this evening. Dome Baseball received some pretty high honors, coming in at number 10 in the final NAIA poll of this season. That ranking marks the highest finish in program history. And what a season it was for the Tigers. GPAC regular season champs, tournament champions, and an NAIA World Series appearance for the first time in program history. A season that won't soon be forgotten. Well, today was day one of the Matt Rule football camps. Today's morning session was for 3rd to 6th graders, and the evening session for 9th grade to junior college students. The camp's run started today and throughout the next 2 weeks. The last camp being on June 10th. Citizen journalist Brian sending this video into our Now Local News app from outside of the event. If you want to see your videos featured, scan the QR code on your screen. The Women's College World Series started their championship series from OKC today, and Texas came out swinging the Longhorns, scoring 5 runs in the first inning. They pick up a Game 1 win, 7-3 over Texas Tech. Tomorrow's game will be at 7 p.m. on ESPN. The Nebraska Women's Amateur Championship is underway from Lockland Country Club. Play today, however, was suspended at 1:51 due to lightning and will resume tomorrow at 8 a.m. The final round will start at 9:30 a.m. Currently, though, Lincoln's Brooke Beam is in the lead at even par, and another Lincoln native, Eden Lauerbach, is currently tied 8th. So we'll see how the final round shakes out after today's suspended play. We'll have more from the tournament coming up tomorrow. That will do it for sports tonight, though. Rod will go ahead and send things back over to you.
Hey, Nate, before you go, former Alabama coach Nick Saban was on Capitol Hill at a hearing today to talk about the Protect College Sports Act. But there was a moment when he and Senator Deb Fischer had some friendly banter. Take a listen.
If I could have just one follow-up question when you talk about historic matchups, could you explain to us your lack of wins against Coach Osborne's Cornhuskers?
I will tell you a story about Coach Osborne. You know,
he's the best, isn't he?
He's the best.
Yeah.
My first game at Michigan State, my first game as a head coach, we played Nebraska when they were winning national championships, and he was the coach. This was 1995. And we got beat like 56-7. And he put his arm around me after the game and he said, "You're not as bad as you think." And we actually went 6-5, so he was right.
Not as bad as you think. I like that. Good stuff there. We'll be back with a final check of the forecast next.
Have a couple of areas of showers and thunderstorms. South central Nebraska seeing that light to moderate rainfall. A decent sized storm there towards McCook with a lot of lightning, and then a line of storms just north of O'Neill, south and west towards North Platte. None of this is severe, but it does have some much needed rain. Temperatures in the 50s and 60s early tomorrow morning will top out around 80, but the 90s aren't too far away.
All right, thank you, Rusty, and thank you for staying up a little late with us tonight. Have a good one. We'll see you again tomorrow.
The Amigos Yankee, reinventing the ordinary hot dog. Crispy cheesy original and bold jalapeno popper. At Amigos, where food is fun.
Let your voice be heard by sharing your photos and videos to the Now Local News app. Earn points and redeem them for gift cards. Scan the QR code to join.
Upgrading